Hey, we're at Ridgeline High School in Millville, Thrillville as they call it during football season, and they're trying to make it that way during basketball season as well, as the Riverhawks get set to host the Stallions from Stansbury in a Region 11 game here in the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. Eric Olson along with you, and let's talk a little bit about the matchup coming up here in just under 10 minutes before we get tipped off. Ridgeline comes into this ball game at 4-4, 1-0 in region play, thanks to a big win against Tooele on Wednesday. Ridgeline was 19-6 last year, second in Region 11 with a 10-2 region record. Derek Wadsworth is in his second year as a coach here at Ridgeline, 23-10. So he has things humming along here in Millville. It's a team that scores about 54 points a game, gives up about 51.5 points a game, but a lot of those numbers really got kind of tweaked when they went to a tournament up in Meridian, Idaho last week. This was a tournament with some big-time schools in it, the Pro Image Sports Holiday Classic in Meridian, Idaho. They played Lake City, Idaho. It was a northern Idaho team that was a state runner-up, and they lost to them. They played Jacera Catholic. It's a private Catholic school out of California. Multiple D1 players have come out of Jacera Catholic. They ended up losing to them. Damien, California, whose coach has over 1,000 career wins. Another really good school. They were in the Platinum Division, the best division. They came out of their 0-3, and when I talked to Coach Wadsworth about that, he said, that's okay. I didn't schedule for wins in the preseason. I scheduled to make sure my team was ready for region play. He wants his team to be tough because, as we got talking, he really thinks the team that's the toughest will win Region 11. It's kind of wide open this year. Skyview has a lot of players back. Mountain Crest is improving. Green Canyon looks really good early, but we're not sure, what's the consistency there. And he really thinks toughness is a key to winning this region and getting some hardware at the end of the year. He thinks that's a key to this game tonight against Stansbury. He said toughness is going to be paramount. They have a tank in the middle. We got to keep him off the glass. They're talking about Tegan Johnson, the 6'9 senior, 230 pounds. Johnson averaging just under 10 points and 7 rebounds per game. He said he's a kid that sometimes keeps them in games because he hits the boards like crazy. We have got to keep him off of the glass. He said they've got a couple of good shooters around them. They've got 2 of their top shooters have 36 three-pointers between them. So they'll throw the ball in and kick it out, and you can pay too much attention inside, and now they're dropping threes on your head. But having said all that about Stansbury, that's what Ridgeline does as well. He said, we like to do a little bit of everything. We can go into the post. He mentioned specifically Cam Earl averaging 13 and 4 on the season, about how he can really go inside and outside. And he said, we like to throw it into the post. We like to do things in the post, and we've got some guys outside that can shoot it as well, guards that can shoot it as well. But he said it really starts with the post. They feel like they have advantages in there at the post, and they feel like they're very balanced as a team. And when you look at it, Cam Earl, 13 points per game. Tyson Brenchley, just under 9 a game. Stockton Hansen, just over 8 a game. You got Brock Fuller, Andrew Pinocchi. They are really a balanced team, and they, like Coach said, they do it inside and they do it outside. Stansbury comes in 3-6. They're 2-1 in region play, so they're a little bit ahead of Ridgeline in region play. Ridgeline 1-0 in the region. Peyton Dastrup's in his third year, 13-41 for Coach Dastrup. They've been struggling to really get things built out there in Stansbury here with the Stallions. And in region, they beat Mountain Crest by 5. They lost to Skyview by 4. And I'm talking about Stansbury now. And they beat Deseret Peak on Wednesday, 69-34. Tegan Johnson, the big guy I talked about before, 16 points, 12 rebounds in that one. And Cash Bodden, 16 points in that win against Deseret Peak on Wednesday. Stansbury averaging about 59 points a game, giving up 60 points per game in their 9 contests. We talked about Ridgeline, how they've already played a game in region as well. They played Wednesday night against Tooele. Yeah, it was a blowout, 75-35, 10 three-pointers in that ball game for the Riverhawks. Earl with 18 points, Brenchley with 13, Stockton Hansen with 10. If your first name's Stockton, you have to play basketball and you have to give out assists. Let's see, Stockton Hansen averaging 2 assists. If he's going to live up to that name, he's got to average about 10 more per game for 20 years. And then we'll see if he'll live up to that name. That win against Tooele broke a 3-game losing streak. They lost their opener 52-50. Then they won 3 in a row. And then they lost those 3 at that tournament, that Pro Image Sports Holiday Classic up there in Meridian. Of course, Coach Wadsworth played some college ball up there in the Meridian area. We talked about how if you've been up into Boise, into that area, and you haven't been there for a while, you're not going to recognize it. You're going to think you took the wrong direction on I-15 and you ended up in Salt Lake or Utah County. It has exploded out there, especially out in that Meridian area. There's some good basketball there, and then they bring teams from California and from all over into that one. One returning starter for Ridgeline, a couple of contributors in Pinocchio and Barrett. So they're looking for balance. They think they have good balance. They've got guards that can shoot. They've got multiple post-up guys. They want to be tested. They want to be tough. They feel like it's important. Coach Wadsworth feels like it's important to go into Region 11 play prepared, and by prepared, he means prepared to be tough, because toughness is what will win Region 11, in his opinion. So we're going to get our first look at Ridgeline here shortly as the two teams warm up down on the floor, and we'll see just how tough they are. Other teams in action tonight in Region 11. Green Canyon is at Mountain Crest. Bear River is at Deseret Peak. Skyview at Tooele. So those are the other games going on in Region 11 tonight. Of course, it's the Friday before Christmas week, and we'll be back again on Monday with another in-Valley rivalry game on the 22nd. Skyview at Logan. So we'll get our first look at the Skyview Bobcats and their returning group. They've had a little bit of an up-and-down non-region season, and they'll be in action against Logan. The Grizzlies have struggled early this season as well. Injuries have really been tough on their team. They're looking to get on track, and Skyview looking to really get into region play. And then after the new year turns over, we really get into region play in earnest. All right, they're bringing the teams over to the sidelines, which means we're getting ready for the national anthem, getting ready for the starting lineups, and getting set to tip this thing off. Ridgeline 4-4, 1-0 in region play. The coaches' preseason poll had them ranked number 1 in Region 11. Going against Stansbury, who comes in at 3-6, 2-1 in region play. Both teams coming off a win on Wednesday. Ridgeline trying to win their second in a row after losing 3 in a row at the Pro Image Sports Holiday Classic. And they're getting ready for the national anthem now here. So we will step aside for that national anthem. Ridgeline in Millville tonight as the Riverhawks get set to take on the Stansbury Stallions in Region 11 play on the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. Eric Olson here along with you tonight as we get set with the starting lineups. Dallin Jensen, number 2, averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists per game. Will be joined by 6'3" junior Ethan Miller, averaging 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Porter Hinton, another senior at 6'1", a dozen points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists per ball game for number 11. Cash Bowden, 6'5", he's a junior. He's averaging 9 and 5 on the season. And their big guy, Tegan Johnson, 6'9", senior, 9 points, just under 10, and 7 rebounds per ball game. And the lights go out in Thrillville. Get set for the starting lineups for Ridgeline. Cade Barrett, the 6'4" junior, 4 points, 3.5 rebounds per ball games. For big 5'0", 23, playing at Ridgeline, got to be a Brenchley. It is Tyson Brenchley, 8.5 points, 2 rebounds. He's 6'2". He's a junior. Cam Earl, leading scorer on this team, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 6'1", senior. Parker Reynolds is a 5'11" senior, averaging 4 points and 2 rebounds per game. Pinocchi, Andrew Pinocchi, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 6'5", senior. Number 3 on his jersey. And he rounds out the starting 5 for Ridgeline. Ridgeline trying to improve to 2-0 in region play. Stansbury looking to go to 3-1 in region play. Again, the big guy for Stansbury, number 53, he's going to be standing in there for the jump ball. Tegan Johnson, keep an eye on him. Coach Wadsworth telling us we are going to have to keep him off the glass. He said he's single-handedly kept them in and helped them win games with his rebounding. He's about 230 pounds as well. Pinocchi going up against him at 6'5", giving up 4 inches and looks like about 30 pounds. Brenchley tracks down the tap, and we're underway as Reynolds brings it across the timeline. Reynolds looks in low to Earl. Earl, nice spin inside, goes right at the big guy, misses it, and the rebound collected by Johnson. Johnson heads down to the low block. Stansbury whips it around outside, and Johnson comes out to get it. Miller and Hinton play catch, ends up with Johnson. He looks for the assist, and he gets it as he hits Cash Bowden, who drops a triple. 3-0 Stansbury out of the gate. Earl stopping, popping, missing. Rebounded by Bodden. Bodden gives it ahead. Now Bodden gets it back. Shut off by Brenchley. Baseline drive, nothing there. For Miller. Players trying to run through for Johnson, looking for a little bit of help. Finally finds some. Working his way down into the paint is Parker Hinton. And Stansbury has a 5-0 lead. We've played a minute and a half. Earl, 3 on the way, won't go. He's taken 3 shots. He's missed all 3, has Cam Earl. He's still looking for the range. Miller looks back to the bench. Miller hands it off. Now the go to Hinton. As he slips down through, Jensen tries to find him, and he's fouled. It's going to be on Brenchley. lob it into Johnson. They go right over his head. Brenchley comes up with it. And we're heading the other way. Earl has it poked away as the teams exchange turnovers. A layup on the other end by Ethan Miller. And Coach Derek Wadsworth has seen enough. Timeout Ridgeline. 5:57 to play in this first period. 7-0 Stansbury on the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. Hey, if you have a music lover in your life and you're not sure what to get them, you know where you can go? You can go to KSM Music. KSM in Logan, they've got some special hours for the holidays, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve. This week and through the weekend, 10 a.m. and through next week till Christmas Eve, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. So they're going to be open late. They're going to be open till 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve. You need some last-minute Christmas ideas for the music lover in your life. KSM Music, a Game of the Week sponsor. A turnover, 3 missed shots, and a 7-point deficit to start this game for Ridgeline. Earl tries to back his way in, just a little bit too much from Hinton. Hinton doesn't like the call. He's saying, hey, he initiated it with me. And Coach Destrup says, get down there, guard the inbounds. Barrett back to Earl. Pinoki now Brenchley down low to Barrett. Barrett with the big guy on it. Tries to back him down, turns inside, put it up, score it. Good job by Barrett to use his body and keep the big man off of him. And Ridgeline finally on the board. Trying to get down low to Johnson. It's knocked away, but Johnson hustles to get it back. Jensen and Hinton playing catch with it. Hinton back to Jensen. Coming for it, firing away from 3 is Miller. Won't go. Rebound, coming the other way. Earl. Stop, go, start again. 3 on the way from Pinoki, straight away around the rim. And the big man, Johnson, throws it to the outlet before he even hits the ground. To the rim and knocked away from Hinton, and a foul. I'm going to say Hinton was shooting. Pinoki picked up the foul. Stockton Hansen into the ball game, and Brock Fuller joins him for Ridgeline. Both free throws good for Hinton. 9-2 the Stansbury lead, 4:25 to play in the first period. Barrett has the only bucket for Ridgeline. He gives it off to Earl. Earl came out firing, but he hasn't found the range yet. Hansen tried as well. Nothing doing on the kick out. Earl ends up with it. And Coach Wadsworth calling out the set. Brenchley high post to Fuller. Fuller attacks the big man who says, no soup for you. Stansbury controlling this ball game early, up 9-2, 3:40 to play in the first period. Looking for their largest lead of the ball game. Hinton asks Bodden to come set the screen. Now Hinton takes it into the paint. Spin left, put it up, miss it. Chased down by Stockton Hansen. Hansen telegraphs that pass, and it's knocked down by Jensen, but he dribbles it on the sideline out of bounds. Pinoki's back into the ball game, and Barrett will take a seat. Brenchley, pull up from 3 from the angle. Looked good, but it was too long. Hansen gets the rebound, tries to find Earl. And they're running out the other way, and putting it down is Ethan Miller. He has 4, and it's an 11-2 Stansbury lead as they're blitzing the Riverhawks early. Brenchley back to Fuller. Fuller walked. 3 turnovers in the quarter. Only 2 points for Ridgeline as they're just trying to find anything. They've had some good looks. Shots aren't falling, and they are falling for Stansbury. And Ridgeline trails 11-2 with 2:45 to play in the first period here on the Game of the Week. Hinton hits it forward to Miller, who runs right down the lane with a little push shot. It's 13-2 Stansbury. Inoki tries to drive in on the big man Johnson, and somebody with their arms right over his arms. It's Bodden. Cash Bodden picks up the second team foul for Stansbury on the ground. Hansen, 3 on the way, short. Pinoki fights for the rebound, and we've got a rebound foul called on Hinton. Hinton's second, he doesn't like it. He hasn't liked either one of the fouls they've called on him. They said he pushed under the guy while he was up in the air, and that's what the official's telling Coach Dastrup right now. Easton Bamey is in the ball game, number 0. He's got the ball for Ridgeline. Hansen to Earl, trying to get Earl started. He's scoreless here in this first period. Reynolds kicks it back out to Hansen. Stockton Hansen's 3 off the iron. Pinoki tries to save it back in bounds, and it goes off of Bodden out of bounds. Ridgeline, they need to have a big old sip of some Amon fluid because they just cannot find the bucket tonight. Look at that, Earl with a great look right in front of the rim, and it just won't go. All the way to the rack, Miller, leave it short, rebounded by Johnson, who puts it up, miss it. Rebound fought for, Johnson taps it to himself, and Earl slaps him on the arm. And they're going to say Earl hit him on the way down. He was not shooting. Hansen will come to the bench. Barrett back in. Barrett gives up about 4 inches to Johnson, but he's a little bit, got a lot more rocks in his pockets, so he can hold his ground there. Off the missed shot, Ridgeline the other way. Pass whipped out to Inoki. Reynolds. Reynolds is going to fire for 3. Off the back of the iron. And it won't go. And Ridgeline just cannot buy a shot. Coach Wadsworth talking about how they like to go to work in the block, but they haven't done it tonight. Mostly because there's a 6'9", 230-pound dude in there. Keeping him out of the paint. 3 by Jensen. And it's 16-2 and a turnover by Ridgeline. Looking for 19-2? Not quite, but the ball kept alive by Jensen, and it goes out of bounds off of Miller. Miller's got 6 to lead all scorers. Barrett's the only Ridgeline player to score. It is 16-2. Stansbury came out of the gate throwing haymakers. Brenchley, short, rebounded by Earl. Earl with the big guy on him. Fuller looking inside. Now he goes up top. Down the lane, lay it up, miss it. Johnson clears. as Reynolds couldn't put it in. And that's the way this first quarter's gone for Ridgeline. They're going to have to do it defensively because offensively they can't buy a bucket. And Reynolds fouls Meyer. Team foul number 4. 11.4 seconds to play in this first period. 16-2, Stansbury. Bodden loses control, and it's picked up by Ridgeline. Here's Brenchley, lay it up and in. Shot at the buzzer, well short. And Ridgeline gets a steal and a bucket. And we'll see if that can get him going. Stansbury all over the Riverhawks after one. 16-4 on the game of the week. It's Tendies time. You know where it's Tendies time? At Wendy's. The new Wendy's chicken tenders are here. They're so good. They're making them their whole personality, it seems like. They're all about tendies and tenders. And it used to be about the burgers. The burgers are still there. The burgers are still good. Their fries are still there. Their fries are still good. Their Frosties are still there if you want to dip or if you don't. They've got the Snickerdoodle Cookie Frosty Fusion. It's a Frosty blended with Snickerdoodle sauce and crumbled Snickerdoodle cookies in it. Man, they've got all sorts of good stuff. The chicken tendy sauce, the Snickerdoodle Fusion. They've got cold foam, sparkling energy drinks. Plenty of new stuff at Wendy's. Check it out. Order on the app and pick it up. Wendy's, a Game of the Week sponsor. Well, just a nightmare first quarter for the Riverhawks. They got a lot of good looks, and they just wouldn't fall. I mean, some right at the rim. They took a lot of three-pointers, and they weren't falling. They hit 10 of them Wednesday night. And looking at the team stats, I mean, they're a team that hits a lot of three-pointers per game. They haven't hit any yet tonight. 4 turnovers for Ridgeline in that first period, 2 for Stansbury, including the one right at the end of the period. Meyer to Jensen. Jensen finds Bodden. Bodden lets the defense roll by him, and then easy does it. 5 for Bodden, Cash Bodden. 18-4, Stansbury. Playing a pressured man defense. Foul by Meyer. Brenchley inbounds. And now we got a whistle before we even get started. It's on Jensen. And that's his second. Check that, that's his first. And they're talking to both players. They didn't call it on Jensen, they called it on Bodden. Trying to get to the rim was Pinocchi, and a foul called. And Bodden picks up his third. Bodden has 5 points for Stansbury, and he's going to have to come to the bench. Cade Robbins will be checking in for him. Pinocchi goes to the line. First free throws of the night for Ridgeline. Stansbury 2 for 2 from the line. And Pinocchi misses. Stansbury in that first quarter was really physical. And I think that was the message by Coach Wadsworth during the quarter break, is we got to match their physicality. Barrett taps it away. And Ridgeline comes up with the turnover. Barrett fires for 3. Got it! The Ridgeline can't buy a bucket from the beyond the arc, and their big guy does it. Barrett with the first three-pointer of the game. It's an 18-7 lead for Stansbury. Wide open 3 on the way. Won't go in a rebound foul. We're going the other way as Robbins was climbing up the back of one of the Riverhawks, and that is team foul number 4 on Stansbury. We played 1 minute and 7 seconds in this second period. Barrett looks for Earl down low, and he can't get it over the top of Johnson. Johnson steals away, but a whistle. Fighting for position down low was Earl, and they're going to call a foul on Meyer, his second. Meyer at 5'8". Earl had him posted up. And the officials telling Meyer what he did wrong. Meyer wants to know. And Earl's got free throws, and it'll be free throws the rest of the half. For Ridgeline, there's 6:41 to play in this second period. Earl cuts the lead to 10. He's got one more. Meyer gets 2 fouls and has to head to the bench. Earl makes them both. Trouble on the inbounds play, but Stansbury recovers. And a quick whistle at the other end. As Coach Dastrup pointed out, it was 5-0 on the fouls really quick. And Stockton Hansen picks up the foul. Miller was shooting. He goes to the line. 2 for 2 from the line for Stansbury. It was Hinton that hit those 2. And Miller misses the first. Miller 1 out of 2. He has 7 points. And it's a 10-point Stansbury lead. Hansen, high post to Earl. Turn and fire. Miss it. Johnson was kind of caught in no man's land. He was a step back trying to guard baseline. Earl was high post. Johnson was just a step away from him and couldn't get out there quick enough, but Earl missed it. Now on the takeaway at the other end. Johnson's going to pick up the foul, and Earl is going to go to the free throw line. And this could turn into a charity pitch fest. There's 6:05 to play in the half. And Ridgeline's already in the bonus. Only 1 foul called on the Riverhawks here in the early going of this quarter. Earl hasn't hit from the field. He's got 4 points all in this quarter, all from the line. Pressure by Ridgeline. They lead, they trail by 8 with 6 minutes to play in the half, 19-11. Stansbury came out, blitzed Ridgeline early, 16-4 at the end of 1 period. Nice look into Johnson. Johnson has to gather himself before he puts it up, kind of bobbled the ball a little. That gave the defense time to recover from the backside and knock it away before he could just go up and lay it in. Nice look. Robbins. Puts it in. What a great look by Jensen. 21-11. Stansbury. 5.5 to play in the half. Ball knocked out of bounds by Stansbury. Reynolds was looking for Brenchley. Robbins knocked it away. The 6'3" junior stretching out. Earl in trouble. Kicks it back. Hansen back to Earl. Looking at a 3, short. Rebounded by Johnson. Pinocchio up off the bench, getting set to check in for Ridgeline. Here's a steal. Nice steal by Reynolds. Glide in, lay it up, score it. Four turnovers for Stansbury, and we're even in that regard. Pressure by Ridgeline here in this second period has given Stansbury a little bit of trouble. That one knocked out of bounds. 4:33 to play in the half. An 8-point Stansbury lead. They've led by as many as 14. Earl knocks it away. It goes out of bounds and it stays at this end. They don't call a foul. They give the ball to Stansbury as both players collide at going for it. Jensen into Miller. Miller uses the screen by Johnson, elevates, leaves it short, rebounded by Reynolds. And here comes Ridgeline. Reynolds back to Pinocchio, jump stop, lots of hands in there knocking it away. Stansbury very aggressive defensively, and it's paid off thus far. They lead by 8, 21-13, just under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Corner three by Brenchley. Got it! Tyson Brenchley with 5, and it's a 5-point ball game. Ball knocked away. Ridgeline comes up with it. There's that turnover off of the pressure. Reynolds to Earl. Earl baseline, leaves it back for Pinocchio. He volleyballs it, ends up in Reynolds' hands. Bounce pass, down inside, layup, good. Bamey off the bench with his first bucket. It's a 3-point ball game. 21-18, 3:05 to play in the first half. Ridgeline scrambling in their defense. There's going to be shots if they can get it rotated. They do, and then they miss. Stansbury had a good look. Couldn't convert. Ridgeline can tie or pull within a point after being down by as many as 14 in the early going. Earl makes his way all the way in, lay it up and in. Cam Earl with 6, all in the second period. 2:31 to play here in this second quarter, and a foul on the inbounds. 21-20 Stansbury. Fouls on Brenchley, his second. Coach Wadsworth and the Riverhawks thought it was going to be a timeout, and it was not indeed a timeout. Crew Cox checks in for the first time today. 6'2" junior. Ridgeline has ratcheted up the defensive pressure. Created 3 turnovers here in this second period, and a foul by Hansen. His second. Third team foul. Reynolds is going to replace Hansen. They don't want him to get his third with 2:16 to play in the half in a 1-point ball game. (16-5), Ridgeline has outscored Stansbury here in this second period. Here's a steal by Bamey. He knocks it away, so it wasn't a steal. He can't come up with it. And a timeout called by Stansbury. 2:01 to play in the first half of a game that's suddenly become very entertaining. 21-20, Stansbury leads Ridgeline on the game of the week. This is the time of year when you're going to parties, you're listening to stories, you're singing songs, you're having fun. You don't want to get yourself somewhere where you can't hear and know what's going on, right? Maybe you're starting to have some of those problems. If you're worried about that a little bit, Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, Dr. Paul Daines can help you out. They can give you a hearing screening. If you need hearing aids, I don't know if I'd go to anybody else but Dr. Paul Daines. He's a board-certified audiologist. He'll get you set up, he'll get you sorted out, and you'll be able to hear what you've been missing. At Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, a Game of the Week sponsor. 2 minutes to play here in this first half, a 1-point ball game, 21-20. Stansbury leads Ridgeline. Ridgeline's ratcheted up the defense. 5 on the shot clock. Stansbury's got to find a shot. Getting in the middle, losing control, and it goes out of bounds as the shot clock goes off. Dallin Jensen had to force one up. He wondered why he didn't get a whistle. And to be honest, I'm wondering as well. Looked like he got his arm raked as he went through the middle. Ridgeline gets away with one. And with 90 seconds to play in the first half, Ridgeline can take the lead for the first time. Down to Earl. Johnson, the big man on him. He spins, looks for something, then he throws it into the backcourt. Reynolds was cutting, and Earl threw it where he was. Ridgeline's first turnover of the second period, their 5th of the evening. 1:19 on the first half clock. Bamey bothering the ball. He's come off the bench and been a gadfly defensively. He's poked away a couple of basketballs. Come up with at least one steal. He fights his way through the screen there. Nice rebound and put back. Wesley Kellogg into the ball game. His first bucket with some hustle on the backside off the miss. Earl looking at a 3. Way short. Trying to save it back in was Reynolds. And it goes out of bounds off of Ridgeline as he can't get it back in. So Earl's going to sit. Pinocchi's going to come back out onto the court. 37.3. 2.3 the difference between the game and the shot clock. Here's that full court pressure by Ridgeline. Cox knocks it away. They're going to call Cox with a foul as he ran into Kellogg. That's team foul number 4 here in this second period. Next one's free throws. There's Bamey again, knocking it down. This is what's gotten Ridgeline back into the ball game. This full court pressure, they've been able to make a couple of shots. That allows them to set up some of that full court pressure. You can't press when you don't hit, and a carry by Miller. It was a nice spin. The problem was he put his hand under the ball, turned all the way around with it, and it was an obvious carry. That works on the NBA court and some colleges. Not very often does it work at the high school level. Ridgeline with a chance at the final shot. Pull within one or tie it up before we head to the locker room for halftime. Reynolds will dribble down. 10 seconds. Here's Earl with it. Bamey hooks it out to Reynolds. 3 on the way, won't go. Pinocchi keeps it alive. The tip by Earl is too late. But Ridgeline took out a shovel in the second period and started digging themselves out of the big hole. And after trailing by 12 at the end of one, they trail by 3 as we go to the locker room. You're watching the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. song can get worse. Could be worse, could be a banjo. We're back at Ridgeline High School. Halftime coming to an end as we get ready to start the second half. Eric Olson along with you tonight as Ridgeline hosts Stansbury. Stansbury came out of the gates gangbusters, busting gangs and dropping shots. 16-4 at the end of one. Stansbury out in front. They led by as many as 14. Then Ridgeline picked up the defensive intensity, but they also started making some shots. They weren't making shots in the first quarter at all, and they end up getting it to within one at 21-20, and they go into the locker room down 23-20 after outscoring Stansbury 16-7 there in that second period. For Stansbury, they were paced, and who leads all scores by Ethan Miller, a 7. 5 for Cash Bodden. Bodden in foul trouble, had to sit quite a bit of that second period. Porter Hinton with 4, and a bucket apiece for Cade Robbins, Wesley Kellogg, and a 3-pointer for Dallin Jensen. 6 points for Cam Earl, all in the second period. None for Pinocchi, Fuller, and Hansen. 5 for Brenchley, and 2 apiece for Bamian Reynolds. 5 for Cade Barrett. And we're underway here to start the second half. Ridgeline gets the ball first. Ridgeline has never led, trailed by as many as 14. They've never tied. Brenchley in the corner, goes low to Earl. Earl double team, back to Barrett in the middle, rumbling in. Knocked away from Earl. One too many passes by the Riverhawks that time. Here comes Bodden. He leans in, knocks down one of the Ridgeline players and finishes. He has 7. Back up to a 5-point lead for Stansbury. Stansbury has played tenacious defense all night long. Doesn't hurt when you've got a kid as big as Tegan Johnson there in the middle. He did not score. He had plenty of rebounds, though. Indy Pinocchi, who hasn't scored either. Earl for three. Got it. Cam Earl makes it a 2-point ball game. 25-23. Stansbury still on top. Here's the takeaway. Earl. The contact. They going to count the shot? I do not think so. He said, that's a shot. Just count that shot. Cam Earl out there doing his best Luka impression. Dallin Jensen picks up his first foul. And they do count the bucket. So Earl ties it up, and he has a chance to give Ridgeline the lead, and he can't do it. Pinocchi chasing down the rebound off the miss. Earl in the corner to Reynolds. Three on the way, short. Earl with the rebound, put it up and in from the left side. Cam Earl, a whirling dervish. Here in this third period, he's got 7 of his 13 points in the first minute and 40 seconds of this third period, and Ridgeline leads by a bucket. Earl collects the rebound. To the rack, put it up, finish. 15 for Earl. 9 of them here in this third period. 29-25, Ridgeline, and a foul on the drive. Brenchley is going to be stuck with the infraction, his third. And that says Stansbury, send Stansbury to the line. Free throw up and good. Miller, 2 for 3 from the line, 1 more coming. Brenchley and Pinocchi head to the bench. Bamey and Hansen will replace them. Bamey was a spark plug there in that second period. Free throw won't go. Rebound tapped around, looks like it's off Ridgeline. They give it back to Ridgeline. Looked like it went out off the Riverhawks, and they gave it back to him. Said Big Tegan Johnson got a fingertip on it, knocked it away from the 2 Ridgeline players. The official was standing right there. Earl, 9 points here in this quarter, and they send 2 defenders at him as soon as he touches the ball. He's posted up. Now they clear out for him. Leans in, count it. Cam Earl is unconscious. Somebody get some smelling salts. Get him under his nose. He's not conscious. He's got 11 here in this quarter. 17 on the night. 31-26, Ridgeline. 5 minutes to play in the third. Ball taken away. Bamey, Earl, finish. 19 on the game, 13 in the quarter by Cam Earl. Cam Earl scoring from everywhere. He said, you don't understand. This is what I do. And he's got Ridgeline on top. 33-26, 4:56 to play in the third period on the game of the week. Hey, you ever get one of those great neighbor gifts? All neighbor gifts are great, let's face it. But you know when people bring you the homemade bread or the baked goods? Yeah, you think about that this time of the year, and then you start thinking about that bread just in general. And the old Grist Mill is who I start thinking about. They bring back that tradition of naturally made bread. They got that freshly milled flour, the simple recipes, and using the ingredients that really, really matter. That bread is just wholesome and moist and made the way it's meant to be at the old Grist Mill. But they're more than about just bread. They've got handcrafted sandwiches, and they've got baked goods like cookies, sweet rolls. Oh, their muffins are fire. as the kids say, and the brownies. Don't get me started on the brownies. There's something for everyone at the Old Grist Mill, a Game of the Week sponsor. Cam Earl has outscored Stansbury himself 13-3 in the first 3 minutes and 4 seconds. That's right, 13 points in 3 minutes and 4 seconds of this third period. And Ridgeline's taken a 3-point deficit and turned it into a 7-point lead. Ridgeline in the second period really ratcheted up their defense and started making things a little tougher on Stansbury. Here's Bodden. Free throw line jumper, rims out. Must be something about this basket, man. Ball just will not go into it. Baby, down low to Pinocchi. He puts it down too low, and it goes out of bounds, and he falls into the knee of one of the Stansbury players. And you could hear him up here hollering at Stansbury player. Now he says, no, let me up. Help me up. It's Ethan Miller, and hopefully he's okay because Pinocchi was on his knee, and he's bent really weird going back as they were both fighting for it. And we'll hope 10's okay. He walks off, but he's clearly in pain. It's Stansbury basketball after the Ridgeline turnover. Three on the way, good from the corner by Dallin Hansen. His second triple of the night. 4-point Ridgeline lead at 33-29. Mamie drives, kicks. Ridgeline moving it around. Now Pinocchi looking at a three. Won't go. Rebound foul by Stockton Hansen. Nice block out by Dallin Jensen. And draws the foul, and Hansen now with his third. He'll have to sit down, and Barrett will come back in. 3:35 to play in the third. Here's that full court pressure. Lean in and score it. For Stansbury. That was Hinton, his first bucket of the second half. Beckham Skinner into the ball game. Number 21 for Ridgeline. Bamey all the way to the rim. Meyer kicks it over the corner to Jensen. Here's Hinton in between the circles. 10 on the shot clock. 2:40 left in the third period. Shot clock down to 5. Hinton down the lane. He's fouled. No call. And he's not happy about it. Neither is Coach Dastrup. He sure looked like he got his arm hit. And they play on. He was forced, was Hinton, into 3 different Ridgeline players to try to get a shot off as the shot clock was winding down. Pinocchi quickly gets it up before the big guy comes over. And Pinocchi gets his first bucket of the game. 37-31, Ridgeline. Jensen working on Reynolds, stolen away by Skinner. Skinner all the way in, puts it up the bottom of the backboard. He was bumped. Got pushed too far under. They don't blow the whistle. They've let them play, both these teams, in this third period. Now they blow the whistle. That's only the fourth whistle of the third period total. Pinokie picks up his second. And is on the shot. So Hinton will get a couple of free throws. Hinton 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Cox and Earl into the ball game, replacing Bamey and Pinokie for Riverhawks. 1:36 to play in the third quarter, and Hinton hits both free throws. Hinton with 8. Now Stansbury applies some pressure. Skinner gets it into the front court. Cox turns it over, taken away by Kellogg. 8 turnovers for Ridgeline. Drive and kick. Hinton goes to the rack. He takes the bump, and he'll go to the line. Ridgeline's 4th team foul. They're going to call it on Crew Cox, his second. Bamey getting set to check back in for Ridgeline with 1:08 to play in the third. And Hinton misses his first free throw. Crew Cox will come to the bench. Hinton 4 out of 5 from the line. He hit his first 4 before he missed that one a moment ago. And now he hits this one to start a new streak. 9 for Hinton. It's a 3-point ball game. Ridgeline 37-34. Here's Earl. Earl, put it on the glass, put it in the hole. $15 in the quarter, 21 in the game for Earl. Hinton at the other end, draws the foul. They're going to call it on Bamey, his first. Hinton misses. Second for Hinton, misses them both. Rebound, Barrett tries to keep it alive. It goes out of bounds. It hit the bottom of the backboard. Last touch by Bodden for Stansbury. 3.4 seconds difference between the shot and the game clock. 38 seconds to play. Miller, they took him back to the locker room to check him out. He comes back to the bench and he shakes his head no, like, I don't know if that means no, I'm not going to be able to play. But he's not moving very fast. He's walking. But yeah, he saw a player land on his knee and kind of give it a twist. And the trainer talking to Coach Dastrup about it. Corner 3, Bamey won't go, rebounded by Skinner. Skinner out front to Reynolds. 3 on the way, count it. The officials are going to talk about it, and they decide they're going to count it. Coach Dastrup saying, hey, wait a minute. The ball hit the top of the backboard. Should that be Stansbury basketball? They're going to talk about it. There's still 1.2 on the clock. It was the shot clock that was going off. As Reynolds missed the shot, it hit either the top of the backboard or it may have hit the shot clock. Then came back in. It was Bamey that missed, and Reynolds got the rebound, fired it up as the buzzer went off, and hit a 3. There's 1.2 seconds left in the third, and the officials are talking about it, which is what they need to do, and then they need to talk to both And they're going to talk to both coaches about it. So I don't know if they're going to count it or not. Let's see. They're still trying to talk to Coach Dastrup about it. He doesn't like, they are counting the bucket by Reynolds. So it's Stansbury ball with 1.2 seconds to play in the quarter. Ridgeline by 8, 42-34. Hinton fires away. And Stansbury's coach not happy with how that third quarter ended. He's talking to the guys in gray about it. Ridgeline leads 42-34 as we head to the fourth on the game of the week. Hey, the seed collections are in, for 2026. The seed catalog. You can buy your bulk seeds online at andersonseedandgarden.com. Check out their seed catalog, sign up for your 2026 garden classes, and shop their top-rated seed collections. Not too early to start thinking about what you're going to do next spring. Anderson Seed and Garden can help you out with that. Anderson Seed and Garden, a Game of the Week sponsor. Well, this game's had a little bit of everything. Teams that can't score in a quarter, teams that can't seem to miss in a quarter. Confusion about whether a shot should count or not. It's been a wild one here at Ridgeline. Ridgeline come all the way back from a 14-point deficit to take an 8-point lead into the fourth. 21 points for Cam Earl. He had 15 of them in the third period. And Stansbury's just got to put the end of that third period out of their head and work their way back into this one. Bodden tries to drive baseline. Dribbles it off his foot, and they call the foul on Pinocchio. Andrew Pinocchio picks up his third. Johnson sets the pick for Hinton. Now they lob into Johnson. Johnson put it up and in. And if I'm Stansbury, I'm probably giving Ridgeline a steady diet of that until they can stop it. That's the first bucket of the night for Johnson. 42-36. Barrett, three. Got another one! Cade Barrett picking his spots, his second three-pointer, 8 points on the night. And it's a 9-point lead for Ridgeline. Three on the way, won't go from Jensen, and rebounded by Earl. Up, under, and in for Brenchley. Brenchley with 7, his first bucket of this second half. Bodden with the answer, won't drop for him, and the rebound foul, Johnson. And he is not happy. His second. Johnson was not happy after that call. I don't know if it was on the call or if it was just maybe not happy that maybe he didn't get a chance to touch that ball down low. Bamey into the ball game. And Reynolds will sit. So Pinoki, Bamey, Brenchley, Barrett, Earl for Ridgeline. Earl drives baseline, kicks it back out to Brenchley. Down the lane, up and under, he walked first. 9 turnovers for Ridgeline. And a chance for Stansbury to cut into the 9-point deficit. 6:15 to play, and the clock's not running. Now it is. Clock operator noticed at the same time I did, looked over at him, and he's like, whoops. That happens plenty at the high school level. Meyer's shot is blocked away by Bamey. Stockton Hansen into the ball game. Pinoki seats down for Ridgeline. Coach Wadsworth substituting liberally. Johnson on the inbounds. Johnson wants the ball. Now he gives it off. 3 on the way, too far for Jensen. Bamey gives it to Earl. Earl gets a big screen from Barrett. Kicks it out to Hansen for 3. Hansen's first bucket of the night. And it's a 14-point lead for Ridgeline. What a turnaround in this ball game. Hinton into the paint. Needs to get a shot up before it's 3 seconds, and he's fouled. He stood in that paint a long time. And Barrett going to pick up the foul. Second team foul, first on Barrett. Ridgeline's at Woods Cross 2 days after Christmas. Then they're at Green Canyon on the 2nd of January and Logan on the 3rd. Stansbury goes to the Steve Hodson Cancer Classic, Canyon View, Carbon, and Dixie on the 29th, 30th, and 31st of December for Stansbury. Earl sits, Reynolds in. Hinton makes the first free throw, has one more. Ten for Hinton, rebounded by the big guy. Johnson kicks it out to Meyer. Now Jensen. Jensen uses the screen. Meyer, corner 3. Won't go. Rebound. Foul, and it's on Ridgeline. And it's on Hansen. He puts his hands on his head and says, what? Bodden comes back into the ball game, replacing Kellogg for Stansbury, and Earl replaces Hansen, who has to sit with 4 fouls. Earl didn't get a very long rest. Earl with 21, 15 in that third quarter. Ridgeline trailed by 3 to start the second half. They lead now by 13. Hinton tries to get it into the big guy, and now we have a whistle. I think I call Pinoki for something. He was standing in front of Johnson, unless he grabbed. No, they called him Brenchley's. And Brenchley just picked up number 4. So Brenchley and Hansen, both with 4 fouls, and Skinner has to come into the ball game for Brenchley. Hinton, Bodden, bucket. 9 for Bodden. It's an 11-point ball game, 50-39. Boy, Governor, 50-39. Ridgeline making us speak different languages here on the Game of the Week. Custom Fence is a Game of the Week sponsor, and they are folks that know how to do it right, have the know-how to get it done right, and can really help you plan your fencing project. They have decades of proven expertise. They have tailored fencing options, broad reach. They're operating in 15 different states, so they can blend scale with local service. That'll get you the optimal project outcomes. Custom Fence. Go online to customfence.com and request a quote for your fencing project. Today, Custom Fence, a Game of the Week sponsor. Ridgeline by 11. If you're just tuning in, they trailed in the early going by as many as 14 points. Stansbury came out of the gates, firing away and connecting. Here's the guy that's been firing away and connecting. Earl, he misses on that one. He has 21 points. Stansbury trailing now by 11 after that big lead as Ridgeline just kept chipping away and then finally took the lead in the third. Hinton's been doing most of the damage for Stansbury, and the big man right there, 6'9", Tegan Johnson, now with 4 points, has been a nightmare on the boards. 9-point ball game, 50-41. Ridgeline leading, and a foul, the third of the quarter on Stansbury. Ridgeline with 4. They're going to call it on Hinton. Hinton's third. Green Canyons at Mountain Crest, Bear Rivers at Deseret Peak, Skyviews at Tooele tonight. Haven't seen any scores from any of those other games. Deseret Peak is winless in region play, and Skyview, that would be a huge upset. I imagine Skyview's probably taking care of Tooele. Bear River at Deseret Peak. It'd be interesting if Bear River has kind of struggled a little bit early. Here's another foul. Nope, this one just knocked out of bounds. Bamey all the way across court to Pinoki. Put it up, try to flush it down. Misses it, and then it's knocked out of bounds by Meyer. That would have been filthy. Pinoki baselining in. This time he meets a 6'9" guy in the middle, and a foul as Johnson gets him upside the head. Tegan Johnson with his third. And that's the 4th team foul. Both teams with 4 fouls. So free throws the rest of the night for everybody. Pinoki didn't score in the first half. He's got 3 here in this second half. A chance for one more. Four points for Pinoki. He puts the lead back into double digits at 11, 52-41, with 3:20 to play in the ballgame. 3 on the way, off the front of the iron. Bodden with the rebound, loses it, but Johnson picks it up and a foul on the ground. Doesn't matter, it's going to be free throws. Jensen's had some looks for 3, and he just hasn't been able to connect. He has 2 free throws already on the evening, but here in the third, he hasn't been able to put them in. Did I say free throws? I meant 3-pointers. Bodden misses the first free throw. He's got 9 points, looking to get into double figures. He's right at his average. And he gets the second. 10 points for Bodden, 10-point ball game, 3:13 to play. Ridgeline on top. Pinoki fakes the 3, gets past the big man and lays it in. As soon as he drew Johnson away from the bucket, and got him up in the air. He put it on the floor and made the quick move. And now he collects the rebound on the other end. Double coming on Earl. And Wadsworth, Coach Wadsworth, calls a timeout. 2:37 to play, a 12-point Ridgeline lead, 54-42. You're watching the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. Well, the Game of the Week has a quick turnaround before we take 8, 9, 10 days off. Yeah, we're back at it Monday night at Logan. Skyview at Logan. A couple of days before Christmas decided to do that game as, well, that's the oldest rivalry in the Valley, Skyview and Logan. That one on Monday the 22nd. Then we take a little bit of a break until the 2nd of January. That's a Friday night. The rest of our games on Friday nights the rest of the way. Ridgeline will be at Green Canyon on January 2nd. We'll have that game. We'll see Ridgeline again the next week as they host Mountain Crest on the 9th. Grantsville at Logan on the 16th of January. Green Canyon at Skyview on the 23rd. We end out January with Stansbury at Green Canyon. And Ridgeline at Skyview ends the regular season. We'll let you know about any playoff games we do as those matchups resolve themselves. We're a long way from that, though. Earl doesn't shoot it, gives it to Reynolds. Reynolds finds Pinocchi, dive into the bucket, goes against the big man who says, yeah, shouldn't have done that, but it stays at this end. Reynolds lobs it into Pinocchi, put it in and off the glass. Eight for Pinocchi all here in this second half. Myers three, won't go. Rebound by Bodden as he tips it to himself. Turn and put it back. Oh, it won't go. Players down on the floor everywhere. And Earl fouled by Meyer. Now we got free throws at the other end. Earl has not scored here in this fourth quarter. Pinocchi has 6. 3 for Hanson, 2 for Brenchley, 3 for Barrett. Cam Earl takes 21 with him. He's now got 22. Earl hits them both. He's 6 of 7 from the free throw line. He has 23 points. Hinton gets it across the timeline. Decides on it himself. Lays it up from the left side. $12 for Hinton, and here's a turnover. Hinton fouled. Count it. No, they do not. Ridgeline with 10 turnovers. And if that's on Brenchley, he's done. Stockton Hanson will replace Brenchley because it is on Tyson Brenchley. He fouls out with 7 points. About a point and a half below his average. His time was limited a little bit because of fouls. Hinton now with 13. He averages a dozen. He's got 14. He's the leading scorer on this Stansbury team for the season, not just the night. Earl to Hanson. He gets it across the timeline. It's a 12-point ball game. And Meyer with the foul. For Ryder Meyer, that's 5 fouls. Kellogg will replace him. Meyer scoreless. Played in both halves. Missed a couple of threes. It's Reynolds at the line. Reynolds has an interesting shooting form. I noticed that when he was shooting his jumpers. It's kind of a push, more of a push shot, push than a flick. And from out in front of his forehead instead of the side. Yeah, it works for him as he hits them both. He has 7. And it's a 14-point lead for Ridgeline. Reynolds takes away the miss by Jensen. Jensen was trying to draw the foul on 3. And he comes up a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up. Reynolds will go back to the line where he just hit 2. Reynolds got himself a nice little rhythm going there at the free throw line. He's hit 4 in a row. It's a 62-46 lead, now 62-48 lead as Johnson has 6. Earl's going to go to the line as he's fouled. Jensen with his 2nd. Earl trying to get to 25. Earl 8 out of 9 from the free throw line tonight. 25 points. 19 of them here in this second half. 3 on the way for Jensen, and he gets it. He averages 11 on the season. He's got 9. That's his 3rd three-pointer. But he's been a little bit off. He's had a lot of looks, hasn't been able to get any of them to drop until then. 64-51. Ridgeline leads by 13 with 46 seconds to play from the game of the week. Special thanks once again to all of our Game of the Week sponsors: KSM Music, Wendy's of Logan, Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, Custom Fence, Anderson Seed and Garden, and the Old Grist Mill. If you visit any of those Game of the Week sponsors, make sure to let them know you appreciate the support they give to local high school sports and students. .46 seconds to play in this one. A 13-point Ridgeline lead. They have the ball. And they're on their way to their 2nd region win of this season, and to get above 500 at 5-4. They throw it into Earl, and he'll go to the free throw line, takes 25 points with him, and he's hit 4 free throws in a row and 8 out of 9. In that huge third quarter that Earl had, he only shot 1 free throw, and he missed it. He had 7 field goals, and one of those a three-pointer. Misses. And it's rebounded by Stansbury. They hurry into the front court. Hinton all the way down the lane. Lay it up, make it. .16 for Hinton. Now they put it in the hands of Earl. Shot clock's off. Coach Dastrup just tells his team to back off. Down by a dozen. Cam Earl's going to dribble it out. These two teams will see each other again in a few weeks. Ridgeline will improve to 2-0 in region play. Stansbury falls to 2-2. 26 for Cam Earl as he dribbles out the clock. Ridgeline comes up with the dub on the game of the week. We'll turn around and see you again on Monday, the 22nd. Yeah, that's next Monday for Skyview at Logan. We hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you next time on the Game of the Week.